Hello and welcome to Healthy Knitting. My name is Rosie, your host. Today is November 1st, 2016. You can find me on Ravelry as LESPETITSLUX. There is a Ravelry group and there is a WordPress site, wordpress.healthyknitting.com, which might not be up for very much longer. So, hello. I have a lot of things to talk about, and I have recorded, although I was not able to upload it, so I have even more things to show you. I did not really do much crafting all summer, and so that is why you didn't see much of me. And then now I'm crafting all of the things, and so there is a lot to show you. And let's just get started, shall we? Okay, so in October, there was Rhinebeck. Of course, many of you know about Rhinebeck. Many of you were there. I was not there on Saturday. I had to work, and so I could not make it there. It was a little bit too much for me. So I did go on Sunday, which was a lot slower and empty and a beautiful day, but I didn't really get to see anybody. So it wasn't as much fun. But I did get a few things, and I'm going to start off with that because I'm waiting for my iPad to get some more battery so that maybe I can actually hold it up and show you some of the project pages from Ravelry. So one of my first purchases, which is over my left shoulder, a bunch of fiber. Little Barn was there this year. They're up on the hill on the 4-H side, and they weren't there last year. I usually buy something from them every year. They have really good prices on their fiber, and it's pretty decent. So I bought a bunch of that. And then the next place I went was where I purchased from last year these beautiful pictures. And don't mind my fingernails, they're a mess. From Margaret, and they're just so cute. So I have a big one from last year and 5 smaller ones, and I framed them all, and they're hanging on this wall over my left shoulder. Those little frames right there. So when I walk into this room, I see them. I don't know where I'm going to put these because I'm kind of running out of wall space in my house. Oh, hello! Here's a kitten. What are you doing? So this is one of the big ones, and this is a new one from this year, and she did not have this in the card size. So, but I do enjoy having a big one and then wrapping it around with littler ones. So super cute. And then I have, no, sorry, she's knocking things over. Can you get this one? And then this one. These, by the way, are perfect. I don't know if I showed it in how I did it, but they're just like a little 5x5 frame square that I purchased from Michael's. And I cut the card to fit, popped it in there, and it's done. So cute. I just love all the colors. And then these two are a little different. This one I think I'm actually going to send as a framed piece for someone. And then, of course, kitties in an umbrella on the sea. How cute is that? So those were really fun. That was the second thing that I did. Made it there right away. And then one of the other, I didn't purchase a lot. One of the other, buffalo fiber. That's it. I was trying to figure out what I purchased, and it's in the closet. You'll see it soon, so I'll just tell you about it really quick. But the other thing that I bought was from Fox Hill Farm. I love Cormo. This is Cormo lace weight. It is so soft and gorgeous. There are 570 yards. I do not know what I'm going to make, but I have wanted this, I think, probably every single year that I've gone, and I've never gotten it. And I bought Cormo one year, and I'm like, oh, I'll just spin it myself. Well, it probably won't come out as beautiful as this, and I really, really just love this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably will not keep this in this color, but I don't know if I'm going to knit it first and then dye it, or if I'm going to dye it first and then knit it. I haven't decided. When we talk about things in a little bit, I will talk about all the things that I've been dyeing, and so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. So the other thing that I bought was from Buffalo Fibers. I bought a little ounce of buffalo roving, and so I am probably going to blend that with silk and then over dye the whole thing. So I'm pretty excited about that. I will talk more about that a little bit later too, on a purchase that I want to make this fall. So let's get right into some of the things that I've finished, because there's a lot. There's a lot. These, actually, when I was just pulling up all of the projects, totally forgot that these were in the section of things that I made. I put them away. I had everything out for the longest time, finally like, I just need to put things away. These are so cute. They are super fast to knit. They are garter stitch. It's a free pattern. It's garter stitch back and forth, so all you have to do is then seam up the sides, sew the tab down, put the button on. I love these. The only thing that I'm not thrilled about is that there's no thumb, and I really do like to keep my thumbs warm as well. So I don't know. I do have another little bit of yarn, and I'm just not sure though, because if I put stocking knit on, it's not going to look good. It'll be the only stocking knit thing on this whole thing. But I think if I put garter stitch on, it's going to look too bulky. So I might just leave it as it is and wear them in the spring. I do actually have this yarn knit in a shrug that I could wear in the spring as well. So let me pull up the name of that pattern on here. It is, what are you doing? Oh no, what happened? Okay. I don't think I can spell this. So anyway, before I pull it up, this is Carabella Yarns Aurora Bulky in the Sage colorway. Did I say how much yarn I used? How much? That's not right. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure how much yarn I used on that project. But it, like I said, it is a free pattern. Let me see if, oh my God, if you're going to be able to see this or not. I'm not being very helpful, am I? No. But you know what? At least what I can do is I will put the name of the pattern in here so that you can see it, and at least I have something that I can look at when I talk to you. So it's Pluvio SE, and it is by, I don't even know how to pronounce her name. It's French. So anyway, super quick knit. I think these would be great holiday gifts. Holidays coming around now. I'm going to be making a bunch of gifts for people, I think, this year. Just simple things. And hand knit, like little wrist warmers will probably be something for some of my friends. But these buttons I purchased at Rhinebeck quite a few years ago, and they actually, I think they look perfect with this. You know, I bought a bunch of buttons and then I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with them? And then I was like, oh, it'd be perfect. So really, I really like this pattern, and like I said, it is free and it takes like 2 minutes to make. Bulky yarn, not a whole lot. And then I started another pair, well, just continue with the finished. So then I have these. I'm going to, and I've used, I don't even know what size needle. Doesn't really matter right now, I guess. Okay, so I'm getting rid of that. Okay. I apologize. There's just so many. I made 2 pairs of these. These are the Campout fingerless mitts. 1 pair is for me and 1 pair is a gift. And the funny thing is, you can see a very big difference in the gauge. This one is bigger than this one. Same exact needles. I made 1 pair and then I made the other pair. And this yarn was given to me by my friend Cynthia. It's DMC Creative World Nordic Spirit Victoria. It's a bulky yarn, obviously a self-striping yarn. And she purchased this when she was in France. It was actually made in Italy. So this one's my pair. Now this is another free pattern, and it didn't come with thumbs, but I put thumbs on it because I really do like the thumbs. I just picked up around and added. So I find it very interesting that this pair is bigger than the other pair. I don't know if I was tense when I was making this one or not, but these I made with a size 8. And again, super easy. You just make this garter stitch back and forth, and then you pick up and then you knit your way down, and in 2 minutes they're finished. So that's 1 pair. And these, the ones that I'm giving to Cynthia, because they are tighter and smaller, I think they actually look a little nicer. So if you are planning on making these, I would go down in needle size because the join from here is much smoother on there, and it just looks a little more refined, I think. So I'm popping, one of the other reasons why I wanted to record today was I need to put these in the mail. So it's cold out here. Like I said, it's November in the Northeast, so they need to make their way to her. I used 1 ball per mitt, or per set of mitts. So again, a super fast, easy gift giving project. I seriously think they took me an hour to make, if that. It was so fast. They just flew off the needles completely. Hello! I have little muffins down here. I'm wearing something, and oh, let me tell you. So it's Campout Fingerless Mitts. It is by Tante EHM, and I'm not sure if she is Norwegian or French because or what is she? I don't know where she's from. I'm not sure. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I will hopefully put the name down here for you. And let's see what else I have here. So I have so many things. All right, I have 2 of these. Let me show you these. I got in a tear one day, and I wanted to just knit up all of my bulky weight yarn, hence bulky, which you see, I'm like, it's bulky everything. I just wanted to clear it all out and knit it all up. So I found a pattern on Ravelry. No, I do not wish to do that right now. Which is inspired by a pattern that was a pay-for pattern. And it's the Cocoon Shrug by Nancy Ricci, and it is in Knit Purl Fall Winter 2014. If I could have bought the patterns individually, I would do that. I did not feel like buying the whole pattern and only wanting the whole book and only finding that there was 1, maybe 2 things that I wanted to knit. So I kind of just made my own based on what I saw. This is a shrug. It is made with Noro. And it is made with Noro what? Noro Odori. I used 5 skeins exactly. It is a bulky weight yarn. I absolutely love this yarn. It's discontinued like all Noro yarns. They come and go. But it is a great little piece to put on in the house, in and out. It's not so great with a purse because, you know, it's kind of like, it's floppy here. So it's a shrug. And the problem I'm having is that it falls off a little bit, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might tighten this up a little bit. A shawl pin would certainly work right here. That would be a shawl pin. And it's super comfortable, so I feel that I will probably wear this now that it's getting really cold. Well, it's not really cold yet. The snow isn't even flying. So today's a beautiful day. So this would be something that I could wear today, and I could wear it in my house. When it gets really cold out, this is not something to wear, but I like those middle-of-the-road pieces. And then I had 5 more skeins of Odori, and I was like, oh, let me just make another one of these. There weren't a lot of projects that I was inspired by on Ravelry for bulky weight because I don't like to wear bulky over the whole top of me, and I have some other jackets. And I just wanted something that was a little looser. So again, I could wear this in the house or out. It's colorful and ooh, it feels kind of nice on. All right, do I have other things to show you? Yeah, so let me take that off. So those are those 2. So it was really nice to get rid of a lot of my bulky. I still have a lot more that I want to use though. What else? Another bulky. I had just about 1 skein and a little more left of this yarn, which is Noro Nadashiko, and I've made a little pullover jacket to wear, and then I had this one left over, so I just made a Bactus. I've made one of these before. I really love it. The only thing that I have a problem with is that you're supposed to knit, this is a free pattern, and it is by, why do I pick everybody that I can't pronounce her name? Strikelis? Not sure. I'll put all the names here of where you can find them on Ravelry. Free pattern, but you basically just knit garter stitch till you have a certain weight of the yarn that you have, half of it, and then turn around and go the other way. And the same thing happened last time. I did not get to finish. You can see this one's not so pointy versus this one. But it doesn't really matter because it's just wrapped around and, you know, nobody's going to be inspecting the bottom of your scarf, and it's just fine. This yarn is super soft, again, discontinued, and it's Angora wool silk. I used 1.5 skeins, and I used size 9 needles for this. And I have worn up this so many times already. It's so super soft. I love it. Okay, so that's another one. I'm wearing the Amanda hat, and that is, wait, let me get rid of this. You're done. It is by Gina House, and this is made with Noro crayon. I used 0.92 skeins. I still have some more of it left, and I think I can make another one as a gift. This flew right off the needles. The only thing is I'm going to have to go down to a size 7 because I wound up having to put this through the wash. And I use size 8 needles. I think it's made, the pattern was made for bulky weight, so I think I might have gone down a little bit as it was with the needles, but I definitely could have gone down again. I'm typically a loose knitter, but I don't know what happened with these mitts right here because that was pretty darn tight. I don't know. So I do have this much left of the Noro crayon, and I think it would be a nice, make a nice fast gift for someone. And you can kind of see that, you know, you're going to see my hat head. It is felted. Not so much that it totally obscured the stitches, but it is a little bit airier in, oh my God, in the pattern. I'm stretching it enough so that it will actually come down to my ears, but it's not going to be the hat that I would wear when it's really cold out because here's the end of my ear and it's sticking out. If I had made it properly, this wouldn't be a problem, but this is totally my fault, not the pattern's fault. So another free pattern on Ravelry, I'm leaving that on. Another free pattern on Ravelry if you're interested in a really quick knit. I love hats. So I had some, I feel like I'm going 100 miles an hour, but last time I podcasted it was an hour and 20 minutes, and then I couldn't even upload it. So I'm hoping that this will upload and that I'm not really wasting my time today. All right, so the next thing I made was the One Row Hand Spun Scarf by Stephanie Pearl McVie, and this is out of Handspun. And this is all that I have. This was from 4 ounces. I split the braid up into 2, this has to be 4 ounces and not 8 ounces. I used size 6 needles, and this was my purse knitting for a little while. And this I dyed with greener shades, and I had one more dark, and then the other braid I had with lots of these pops of color, so it would have a lot of barber poling and some pretty pops of color. So I really liked the way this turned out. It was really fun to spin. It was fun to knit. Look at all the pretty colors, all that barber poling. And I dyed a whole bunch more with greener shades as I wanted to use most of it up. So I'll show you what this looks like. I'm considering getting some dyes from Derma and dyeing up. I have a bunch of other things to dye but I'm not sure, you know, how I feel about the greener shades. Some stuff's coming out really nice and other stuff's coming out kind of weird, and so I thought maybe I would try something else and then compare. But I do like this scarf quite a lot. It's very warm. The pattern's super simple because it's the one row. It's the same row over and over on both sides, and it's lovely. So another free pattern on Ravelry. That was fun because I actually did some spinning, which was really, really nice to do. Oh, I did more spinning too. Okay, so I have another hand spun, and this is the Marshmallow Fluff by Sarah Crawley. I've made this pattern once before, and I decided to make it again. Oh, I have to get my hair out of the way, hold on. And the hat's distracting me. Let me put my hair up. This pattern, I didn't do it as described. It is a free pattern, and you are supposed to join the ends together to make a cowl, but I did not want to do that. The other one that I made, I did not do it either. This pattern knits up in, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe less. It's bulky weight. This is 48 yards, and I use size 15s. And you take a shawl pin, and you go boom, boom, and you pop it in right here. So I preferred that to this because I felt that it would, being bulky, it would sit in my coat nicer. And I did make another one of these with Malabrigo, and that's how I wore it. I just stuck the shawl pin here, and I thought it was really nice, and just did a clean edge. So I like that a lot. This I dyed as well with greener shade. Ooh, so you know what? It's a little chilly in here without my woolies on now. I dyed this with, it's merino, and I dyed this with greener shades as well in these very beautiful fall colors. I think that I've managed to put photos of the befores, the yarn, and the project all on Ravelry. I'm trying to do that. So my goal for this year is to really like clean up my Ravelry, put photos on there, take pictures of the projects that I still have, put them on there, put the fiber on there. I had a heck of a time trying to figure out how to put something in though, and it was the project of got the fiber, and then now it's yarn, and then I'm trying to make a project of it. It took me like 20 minutes. I know it's easy, right? It wasn't easy for me that day. But anyway, I love this. I don't know if you can see the colors are really, really, really pretty. And I spun this in the style that I'd spun some other yarn. I don't know if I can find it really easily over here. I've moved my yarn around a little bit, so I'm not exactly sure where it is. But you kind of, it's still a worsted, but because you're pushing it so quickly into the machine, into your spinning wheel, that it's not getting dense. Like the difference between worsted and woolen is that the worsted is very dense fiber. All the fibers are going in the same direction. But if you make that into a very thick 2-ply, as this is, it's going to be so dense that you know, and heavy and everything else. So if you push it through really fast though, it's light and fluffy. And so that's what I did when I spun this. I just wanted something lighter weight and fluffy, but I didn't want to do the woolen preparation for it. It was already in roving form. So yay. I really enjoy it, and I think I will get some wear out of it this winter. I have a camel colored coat that this would look absolutely fabulous with. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, so I bought yarn for, did I tell you who that was by? Yes, I did. And 48 yards. One skein makes that scarf, either if you want to make it into the cowl or something like that. So one ball of super bulky. Okay, so I have the Stripe Study Shawl by Vera Valimaki, and I purchased the yarn to make this a few years ago from Elon, and then I didn't make it, and it sat there and sat there, right there as a matter of fact. And finally I'm like, make the shawl. So I purchased the pattern, and I did it a little bit differently. Mine is on a size 5, and I used about 6, almost 7 skeins of yarn. I have just a little bit left. This is, the yarn is Elan Series F02. It's merino and cashmere, fingering weight, 85 merino, 15 cashmere. Elan used to have their own website. Now I think you have to purchase their things through an eBay store or an Amazon store or something along those lines. And so, I don't know, I didn't really like it anymore, so I haven't purchased anything else from them in a while, but I used to buy a lot of things from them. And I like the yarn. It's very nice. I have a bunch of it, and I'll probably be making some more things with it very shortly. I did, if you are familiar with this pattern, where is it? I did the end a little differently. And it is blocked, I believe. Did I block this? I did the stretchy bind off on this because I didn't want it to be really tight. But the thing that I did differently was in the pattern, the V's are coming all down in a swirl direction, and then the bottom color you're doing back to the straight. And I wanted to see what it would look like if that whole last piece went along that same curve. So I just continued to do the pattern, and so it just gracefully goes in that same direction. And this is a little bit bigger now than it is in the pattern because I had to do more rows, otherwise it didn't made any sense. So I thought while I was making this, I'm like, oh, I've got this yarn I could do this with, and this yarn I could do this with. And then I realized that once I have it on, I'm not all that thrilled. I don't know if thrilled is the word, but I mean, it's okay. But I think I've made other shawls that I might like a little bit more. And one of them being the ex-boyfriend shawl. So I will probably make another one of those. It's like, you know, you can't really see it. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. I don't know. Anyway, that's the stripe study shawl, which is really tricky to say. What else do I have? Thought I had some more things. Okay. Now, my second Viagante is finished, and I still have some yarn left over. This is by Martina Bem. I used Bittersweet Woolery Afterglow, which is a merino tencel mix lace weight. It's 875 yards. I used about 595 yards for my project. I kind of got bored at the end. I have not blocked this yet. It just came off the needles the other day. And so my last row is not that long. I didn't care. I just wanted to off the needles. This has been sitting on the needles all summer, and I really haven't worked on it. And I just really wanted it to be something that I could wear in the summer, which is now over. Just like a little thing like this. So not so long, and it's just something simple. I think I'm going to keep this on because it's actually a little chilly in my room right now. But I love the yarn. I love the colors. I think it's really beautiful. I think it will look really nice when I block it, which probably, I think it can happen today. We have a sunny kind of day today, and if I hurry up and get this wet and put it outside, it might finish drying by tomorrow. Okay. So now things that are currently on the needles. Did I get everything off? What is that? Okay. Yes, so that's everything that's been off the needles. I do have some projects that are on the needles, some which I've stalled out on completely. I am working on a summer jacket. Wonder why it's stalled, because I can't wear it. And this is number 7 hooded jacket. It is from, I use size 10.5s, and I'm using Solstice. I don't have any information in there on there. What is wrong with me? It's a Vogue knitting pattern from spring summer 2011. So you make this thing in pieces. It's all basically looks like this. I'm not going to take them all out because it's kind of boring. But part of the reason why I stalled, you use 2 of these at the same time, and I have to wrap them. I have to unwind them and skein them and blah, 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 blah. This is one of my favorite yarns. How about if you can see it? Classic Elite Solstice. It is an organic yarn. It is organic cotton and 30%, well, 70-30. I love this yarn. I have so much of it. I need to make some projects with. I've got a lot of stuff I want to make. So I only have, I think, 1 sleeve left and maybe 1 other piece. Then I can put it all together, and then I can do the hood and the bands. I think once it's put together, the hood and the bands will go really fast. It's just I've kind of lost interest, but as you can see, even my gauge changes from one day to the next, that I really want to just kind of get that off the needles so that it's not really wonky. I don't know if you remember, if you've watched before, I had a sleeve that I made one of, and then like many months later, I made the other sleeve, and it was like 5 inches longer. Same pattern repeat. I had to go down a needle size, and it's not that much fun after that, you know, when it's really hard to put it together. It's a pain in the neck. The other project that I'm working on is the cabled vest from Nora Gone, and it is, I'm using size 10 and 11. I'm using Eco Wool in the chocolate colorway, 8087, and it is from fall 2010 Vogue Knitting. Now, all I have is the back, and I even messed it up because I can't follow directions. There's supposed to be a band of ribbing in the middle here, but when I read the directions and I thought when I was supposed to start it, it was from this portion, but it was actually from here. So by the time I was ready to start it, it would have made the vest too long, so I just left it out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I have this much yarn left over, which is a whole ball, and I needed to pay attention because it's cables, and I think someone said there might be some difficulties with the cables and the patterns, so I really needed to just sit down and relax with that, and I haven't had a chance yet. So that's been languishing. I purchased some yarn. I know. I tried to make it work with what I had, but that is not going to happen. So remember I showed you my big, huge bag? I never thought I'd be able to fill it. This is completely filled with yarn, and this is for a project. And I'm super excited to start. I've started making some swatches, and this is going to be a blanket. It is Viffla. I believe that she is Swedish, and so I'm not exactly, there's so many mitered squares. It's like a mitered square blanket, but there are so many mitered square types of things out there. I'm just not sure which I want to do. I am alternating. I have more of the bulky yarn, the same yarn that I made the Bactus shawl out of, Noro. I have 6 balls of this, which has like a light little peach color. And then I have this blue and purpley color. So I think they will go together okay, especially if I alternate with black. So, and this is one of the squares that I've messed up. Can't even do this right. This is my 3rd swatch, I believe, to try to figure out if I wanted to do it like this with this non-so pointy point for the corners, and then I made one with pointy points, but I've messed up and I have more stitches on one side of my marker than the other, so I must have decreased on the wrong side and then continued to decrease on the other side. So the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, do I want to sew them up later or actually attach them as I go? And if I attach them as I go, I really need to do some planning. So I need to do some swatching with this and see how this looks. Like I said, I've got 5 balls of this, 6 balls of this. I have 20 balls of this, which is Wool of the Andes, Knit Picks, bulky. I have wool yarn enough to make this blanket that I want, but not in the right weight. I have a worsted and Aran, and when I did the swatch, it looked really bad. It just didn't match at all. So I went out and bought some yarn. It was on sale. They were having a holiday black and orange sale, so I did get a decent price on 20 balls. And if I don't use it for anything, I can always turn it into cat beds for the cats. So this is something that I really need to work on some more. I think these are 9s, and I think it's going to be fun to make. I really want a blanket for me. The cats wrecked Buddy, wrecked my last one, and ripped apart, chewed on it, and so when I'm not using it, it is going in the closet. There is no leaving this blanket out because it's not really a washable blanket, which happened to my last one. I had 19 balls of Noro that had to go through the wash, and it's now a smaller blanket, and it's not, I don't go under it. It's full cat hair. The cats sleep on it. So that's theirs. This one's going to be mine. So I'm really excited about this, but it's just going to require a little bit of you know, finagling. And if I don't like this color interspersed, then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But that's all living in that bag. Okay. And what else? So I do have a few things that I started and then I have to rip out. This is the Axle Mitts by Sarah Pope, and I'm not ripping out because of the pattern. I'm ripping out because I need to go down a needle size. I think I did these in the size that was called for. Again, bulky weight yarn. This is Winter Garden from, hold on, Debbie Bliss in my projects. Where is it? And oh no, I use size 8, so I need to go down to a 7. So I already tried to go down, but they were looking really big, and I, you know, it's like super, super big. So I wanted them a little bit tighter. I think this is a really cute pattern, and you'll probably see these done. I have 2 skeins of this, and I have 2 skeins in a brownie green type color. And I think these are going to be for me, and the other one I will make as a gift for someone. And that is it for current kind of things going on. I do have some projects that I want to make. I've been pulling out yarn left and right. And this is the Hitch Hat by Martina Bem. And I also bought the mittens pattern as well. And this is the yarn I want to use for that. I wanted to make this last year and it never happened. If I skein it up, it'll probably work out, so I should get that going. It's Cascade sock yarn in the Heritage 150 paints, and it's merino and superwash nylon. This is color 9768. It is a red and black, I believe it's red and black, reds and black type color. I think it would look really nice in this garter stitch pattern, and it looks like it's an easy thing to do. I just have to focus because I've not made anything like this before. Probably will be easier than the stuff that I think I know what I'm doing that I make mistakes on because I don't follow directions. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what she's talking about. Not so. And I have some other yarn that I want to make some mittens on. I'm using up all of the bulky. That's my plan. I have a bunch of bulky yarn right there. That's some Noro, and that needs to get made into something. I might make a jacket. That's the one that was the sweater I showed you, and it came out really horrible because I really don't look good in something bulky over my front, but if it's open, that's a whole nother story. I'll wear it. And some other things that just are going to be made into something ASAP because bulky's off the needles quickly. The bulky cabinet was this one here. That's all very colorful right now. And that is now full with roving that I dyed. I'm not going to show you that today. We're at 38 minutes and it's up there, so I'll probably show you that another day. I will show you some yarn that I dyed, but I went on this rant, and like every day for 4 days I was dyeing stuff. I dyed roving, I dyed yarn. It was really fun, and I still have some dye left, but I do want to try some of those Dharma dyes that I told you about and see what happens there. So when I purchased that other yarn from Milan, I think I wound up getting this for free or at a discounted price, and it is the series F03. It is superwash, blueface, Leicester, and nylon, and I dyed this so that it would be, I dyed it in my crock pot, and I wanted some light purples and some darky purple splots, and I will see what happens when I knit that up. Now, this is going to be a disaster to unwind, and I don't believe it's their fault. I had it out, and one of the kittens, or maybe Buddy, I don't know. Buddy's been really bad. That's why nobody's allowed in here anymore. But he likes one of my cabinets, and he'll kick all of the yarn out and then go sit in the cabinet. It's fine for the yarn, but I have to keep picking it up all the time. He's not doing anything with it. Although, oh my God, I have this funny picture of him. I had a skein of yarn on the table next to me, and he was about ready to like tear it up, and I was like, Buddy, and he just laid on it. It was hilarious. Like, I don't see any yarn. That cat, he's crazy. He's so cute. So anyway, there are 407 yards, so I can make a pair of socks out of this. I thought it would be really fun in these little colors. I don't know what I'm going to do, so we'll see what happens. I first need to wind it up, which is going to be a bear since it is a complete mess. The next yarn that I dyed was this sock yarn, which I didn't realize until I podcasted last time that you didn't get to see. This is a sport weight. I don't normally wear sport weight socks. I have one pair of them and I didn't like them, so maybe if I go down a lot more on the needle size, I will like them. So this will be an experiment. There's only 378 yards, and this is a 100% untreated blue face Leicester series SO2 from Elan, and I dyed this in the colors that were out my window. They were absolutely these beautiful oh, by the way, so fall where I live right now in New York is not typical. This year has been late. When we went to Rhinebeck, a lot of the trees weren't even really turned yet, but a lot of yellow this year, like this bright, bright yellow and these beautiful golds. And I wanted to capture some of that in the yarn. And so, and still the bright green of the trees at the same time. It was really interesting. So this is my take on the fall this year. I thought it was cute. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to be socks. I'm really not too sure, but with 347 yards, it's not really a lot, and these colors don't look great on my face, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Another thing that I dyed was some Cormo, and I purchased this at White Barn Farm, and it's a local shop to me. I think it's New Pulse, but it's like Gardner New Pulse. It's right on the border. And it's a woolen spun sport weight yarn. There are 255 yards. My inspiration for this yarn was Ella Ray Merino lace. It's a lot of different colors. I made a cowl out of it last year or the year before, and it's just all these really pretty colors, all crazy, and it looks a little different than this. This looks more bandy than theirs. Theirs is really, really beautiful, but I still thought that with these crazy pops of color, it would be pretty. I don't know what I'm gonna make with this. It really is. I don't know. I don't know if you think it's pretty, but I love all these like really pretty. Oh, it's not even showing up. I really hope it shows up. This is like this beautiful apple green, and it's looking like beige on the monitor, but it's this beautiful, beautiful apple green, and it's right next to all these beautiful purples and these bright blues, and there's just this turquoise, which is not showing up as light as it is. It's showing up very dark, but it's really kind of like it's just a really beautiful color, and I don't know. I like it. I think it's going to be fun. I want to knit with this as soon as I can. I just haven't figured out what I wanted to make with it yet. But the Cormo, I love Cormo. It's such a soft, floofy, spongy yarn. It's lovely to be around your body. Absolutely love it. Okay, so one of the other things that I just found yesterday that I thought would be fun to make, what is this? I have this beautiful yak, and I purchased this from Little Knits. And if you've never heard of Little Knits, go on their website. It's absolutely fantastic. They have a lot of really nice yarns and some good prices, and they have their own brand, which is Little Knits. And this is Yaktastic. This is a lace weight. It is 490 yards, 50 grams. I have two in this dark gray and one in this light gray. I want a lightweight lace weight pullover and yak is really, really warm, because I don't like to layer really thick things. And if I'm going out and I have a lighter layer under a bigger coat, I'm fine with that, because then I can take the coat off and not be so hot. Found a really cute striped sweater. Isabel Kramer's Ravelry store. So Isabel Kramer's the designer, and this is called Westbourne. And it is a pay-for pattern, so I'm going to swatch, see if I can get the designated gauge on the Ravelry page. wash it, dry it, and then purchase the pattern and go to town. I think would be perfect. I have plenty of yarn to make it. These 3 skeins will make that nice lightweight sweater. So I'm super excited about that. Some of the other things that I want to make coming up are not just with bulky weight yarn, but I want to use some of the yarns that I haven't used because they're special, you know. And this Still River Mill yarn is mink, silk, and merino. It's 150 yards. I have 2 skeins of this. I bought this at Rhinebeck either last year or the year before. And I'd like to do something with this, maybe on my hands, because it's always nice that I got fluff all over, to do something with that. I have Kiviot. This is a blend of Kiviot and mulberry silk. I have 2 in this beautiful, beautiful purple color. When I was at Rhinebeck, there was a pattern that I could have purchased there. It's purchasable, that's not even a word. I can purchase it on Ravelry. And it's a shawl that uses 2 skeins of this. And it's a pretty pattern. It's not something that I've seen too much of before, and so I might purchase that to make with these 2. I was kindly given this one as a gift, which is beautiful, and I kind of thought to get a little bit more mileage I might be able to put these together somehow, and I really haven't figured that out yet, but I've just started looking, so it's sitting over here on my desk. And then I also have 100% Kiviot, and this is 218 yards, and I believe this is also a fingering weight. Those were all fingering weights in this beautiful teal color. I just don't know what to make with it. I want to do so many lovely things, and that's why it sits there, because I'm like, I don't know what to make with it. It's so gorgeous. So that, I'm just looking around really quick to think if there's anything else that I'm not showing you. Goodness. Okay, so that's pretty much it for, you know, if this ever gets uploaded and you get to see it and I can record again. Oh, look, the ends aren't even woven in. That's crazy. I probably will have a lot more projects to show you that you haven't seen an intro to that made their way onto my needles, because I'm going to be doing some quick gift knitting and get rid of some of this bulky yarn and stuff like that. So that's going to be exciting coming up. And I'm planning on purchasing hang on, where is it? Oh, did I delete that? Yeah, I deleted a whole bunch of things because iMovie kept stopping. So anyway, there's a fiber prep board that I want to get, and it's called a totally escapes me. Hold on, let me just see if it's over here, because this is ridiculous. I hope I didn't delete it. Okay, it's called a blending board. Yeah, I couldn't even think. It's called a blending board, and it's the tabletop model, and it is from Fancy Kitty. I've been looking at a lot of blending boards, and I feel that this would be the right one for me. You know, everybody's got their own way of doing things, but I already have a drum carder that I love, but I can't do really fine fibers on there, and I have a bunch. I have a bunch of really cool fibers, and I think it'd be really fun to make some small rolags. And I have cotton that I'd like to make into some poonings, and I can't do that on my drum carder. It's a great drum carder. It's very versatile, but not for the very fine fibers. So I want to get the fine fiber model, and I think that'd be really fun to play. And I'm going to dye some fiber in sections so that I can actually make colorful things, and I'm planning on making some bats and just having a lot of fun. That closet right behind me is full of some really amazing fiber, and it's just sitting there not getting used. To my left on the floor are a whole bunch of fibers that I plan on dyeing and over dyeing, so over colors that I want to do. And I also have all those fleeces downstairs, and I have fleeces that I can do worsted prep because they're dual fleeces, and then take the other part and do woolen. And I think that would be really fun for this as well, to make some interesting mixed, oh, there's a squirrel going crazy over here, interesting mix of fibers, and so that would be really fun. So that's one of the other reasons why I want to get the Dharma dyes, to see if I could